僕の名前はアストルフォ。
While making Fallout New Vegas, Obsidian considered making ghouls and super mutants playable races. Bethesda apparently advised against this, and it never happened. But thanks to modders, we can now play as a super mutant. Directional Owl did a playthrough with an older mod that allows you to become a super mutant, but a new one released this year. This mod is called Mariposa, and it allows you to pick Nightkin as a race. So, can you beat Fallout New Vegas as a Nightkin? I named myself Bedtime Brother and assigned special stats. I do Strength 10, Perception 4, Endurance 10, Charisma 1, Intelligence 1, Agility 7, and Luck 7. I choose Guns, Melee, and Sneak for tag skills, and Heavy-Handed and Skilled for traits. Doc gave us a Varmint Rifle and a Nail Bard as starting weapons. This works because I'm only using long guns, two-handed melee, heavy weapons, grenades, and bare fists. We also get some super mutant armor. We can't just wear any armor with this mod, we have to find special super mutant armor. I'm using Low Intelligence Overhaul mod, which is perfect for a super mutant playthrough. You have stuff, me want stuff. Who host man? What are great cons? Me want shiny things. You have work for me? You give me paper? Why? Paper no open door. Doc man say teach me live in sand. Help me not die in sun? I tried to shoot the bottles, but my gun wasn't working. I got this message that said to install Compatibility Skeleton version 13, but I checked and I already have it. I reloaded a save and aimed my gun and could shoot it inside the saloon, so I thought it might have something to do with Sunny Smiles, so I left. I tried to shoot a coyote, but it still wasn't working. Eventually, I figured it out. I can't aim and shoot while crouched. This mod has a lot of weird bugs that I'm going to have to deal with. I also walk really slow when I take out a melee weapon, but it's not slow in third person. It's hard to aim melee attacks because the windup is so slow. I want to see what's up with Black Mountain, so I head there through Sloan. Where big scary lizard things come from. I noticed some of my stats were lowered, and it's because I have Nightkin Psychosis, which lowers Perception and Charisma by 2. I wonder if using a Stealth Boy will negate that. I got to Black Mountain, and Neil has different dialogue, recognizing us as a fellow mutant. The super mutants on the mountain are non-hostile, which is cool. There's one added by some mod I have that refers to us as a human, and through dialogue it says attack, but after exiting, he's still not hostile, which is interesting. The centaurs aren't hostile either. Also, we're immune to radiation, which is very nice. I went to the top, and Tabitha isn't hostile, but she wouldn't talk to us. So I pickpocketed her key from her and opened her chests, which had some better mutant armor in it. I leveled up to 2 and took Steady Arm, an added super mutant perk. There's a merchant named Nocturne on the mountain that sells special equipment for us, but the upgrade is expensive, so I just leave. There are some NCR troopers from a mod that refer to us as human, so I leave them. I got to the 188 and tried to fast travel to Good Springs, but it said there were enemies nearby and I couldn't. I went and cleared out all the ants from the dry lake, but I still couldn't fast travel. I tried multiple times later on. I guess this is another bug from the mod. That's really annoying. I have to walk everywhere. I kill a bunch of Castors and level up to 4, taking the Cannibal perk. At Camp Forlorn Hope, I got returned to Cinder. Me help. You say what me do. I found that sometimes in third person, our model will just disappear. This kept happening, but it's fixed by reloading a save. Just another inconvenience. I decided to run back to Black Mountain and found those NCR troopers I talked about earlier all dead, killed by Nightkin. I looted some good stuff off them and then went to kill Tabitha. She has a classic super sledge and we can actually take and wear her glasses and wig, which is funny. I didn't want to kill her, but we have to in order to recruit Mo, which is allowed by the mod. I found out that powder gangers are automatically hostile. I guess they don't like mutants. I tried to sleep in their bed, but it still said enemies are nearby. I'm glad I didn't choose to play this on hardcore. I just realized Mo is carrying a bunch of stuff on his back. That's cute. I leveled up to 6 and chose Berserk, another super mutant perk. I killed a Great Khan and remembered that I can heal up with Cannibal. I got to Nipton and talked to Vulpus, and there's special dialogue for me being a Nightkin. Me wear head like you wear dog head. I didn't take it though. I knocked down the powder gangers from the crosses and ate them, along with Oliver Swanwick. I took out a pack of jackals and feasted on them, and also got a fire axe. I went up to the Mojave outpost to do the quest there. Where me am? You sound angry, me here grunting. I was throwing dynamite at the ants and it exploded in my hand, and I got this message. I don't know why. I cleared them out and finished the quest, and just while running with the dynamite equipped, it exploded and killed me. So I just dropped it all. I ran back around Nipton and found the NCR and Legion fighting near Wolfhorn Ranch, which is set up as a Legion base because of the Factions Reloaded Legion mod. This mod recently got a massive update, and it now includes voiced NPCs and quests. It also doesn't crash my game anymore, as much. The Dead Legionary had a compact mercenary SMG, which I'm definitely going to use. It's a Caparis. I cleared out a cave of Night Stalkers with an MFC cluster grenade and got to level 8, where I took Super Slam. I saw two guys talking while there was a battle between the NCR and the Legion going on in the background. They decided to duel each other, and the lucky winner got gunned down by Legion after they took care of the NCR. I went through Camp Searchlight for once because I didn't have to worry about radiation. There's a new Legion camp in between Cottonwood Cove and the boat rentals place. There's a merchant there we can sell stuff to and fix our armor. The Centurion there has two quests for us. One is to kill some NCR mercenaries, and the other is to hunt down Legion deserters. I saw some NCR snipers that got ambushed by 1,000,000 Legionnaires, which were also hostile to me for some reason and killed me. The mercs are in Camp Searchlight, so I go back there and see some guys attacking a fellow mutant. I kill them all and then take on the mercs, who are ghouls. I beat them first by sniping a few and then running in and quickly vatsing them. The leader has an M2 Browning, which will be cool to use as a super mutant. I went back to the Centurion and got no reward. Very cool. I ran over to Cottonwood Cove to trade in some dog tags. Me have tags for dog, want trade. I sold some stuff to a Legion healer and saw a guy kill a slave. I got the quest to hunt down slaves from Sextus, and then went and updated another ranger station. I killed some geckos and leveled up to 10, maxing out guns and taking strong back. I went past Novak to Helios 1, and they had some unique Nightkin dialogue with the lady. Be death, take you to bad place. They killed me, and I took out some cazadors and made it to the slave hideout instead. The fight inside was tough, but I used a Kasul revolver that had a bugged firing speed to beat them. I left and went to Boulder City and saved and turned off the game, but then I realized I used a revolver, which isn't a permitted weapon type. So when I started the next session, I reloaded a save to redo the fight with the slaves. This time, I put on a stealth boy and went on a rampage with the Browning M2. I updated a station after and got to Boulder City again. Greek Consav chip, me want. I ran around to the back and surprisingly had enough lockpick to get into the room with the hostages, which I freed while the NCR took out the cons outside. When I went into Jessup's building, I immediately started swinging so he couldn't enter dialogue, and killed him and his friend. I crouched down for a snack, and the NCR accepted me. I then upgraded another ranger station. Sergeant Rees at Place of Soldiers send me with important message for Rock that talks. After killing some dogs, I noticed that Mo has a companion perk called Ammo Sponge. If he is shot, there is a chance the ammo goes into his inventory for us to use later. That's interesting. After upgrading the station by Novak, I watched the Legion kill a guy, and they threw a grenade and it hurt me. I tried to kill them for it, but they killed me. I discovered a location and leveled up to 12, maxing out melee weapons and choosing the heavyweight perk. I looped around to Legion Camp Beta, where Aulus Gabinius gave us a quest to wipe out some desert rangers. I sold stuff at the camp, and then went to the cave where the rangers were hiding. I had to use Psycho to beat them. Now I'm going to track down some deserters, which are all the way past Nipton, so I run that way. Thomas chases after me, so I put him down with the axe. I ate him, and then had the deserters for dessert. I then ran all the way back to the camp near Cottonwood Cove to turn in my quest, getting Caesar's favor along the way. After turning in the quest, I leveled up to 14 and chose Northern Fist, which I don't really know what it does. After that, since I was so close, I took the boat to Drywells. This is Whiteout's mod that allows the player to visit Drywells before it gets nuked. It's a very good mod, I recommend playing it. I deliver some meat for the Hunters Guild and then investigate a suspicious merchant for Decanus Remus. Then I talk to Centurion Constantine, and he wants us to clear out some ghouls in the sewers. Before doing that, I talk to this crazed prospector, and we have a Nightkin line to say to him. I don't know how these two mods work together like that. I kill him and then proceed into the sewers. There are some Legion guys to help me, but they're weak and they all die. There were some non-feral ghouls down there too, but I killed them for good measure. One of them had a mask I can wear. After leaving the sewer, we find that Gaius Magnus has replaced Constantine, who is now slated for execution because of his failures regarding the ghouls. We'll be working for him now. Gaius wants us to find out if Remus, Constantine's friend, is plotting anything against him. We have to search his house, which the key for was just laying right next to it. What was even the point? Gaius now wants us to exterminate the Hunters Guild, but he wants them to attack him first. So we have to gain their trust and convince them to attack the Legion. To get on their good side, I have to kill some mole rats and then some Yaogwai for them. The last step is to retake their lodge that has been overrun with Night Stalkers, which is a little bit difficult, but nothing that M2 Browning can't handle. After they discovered it was the Legion that led in the Night Stalkers, we convinced the leader to attack in a suicide charge. We go outside and watch them fight, and they made some good progress until his head randomly exploded. I guess they're scripted to lose. Back to Gaius, I leveled up to 16 and got Blade Master, which makes swords have a 20% chance to instant kill. That sounds OP. It says it applies to similar weapons, so I hope that means my fire axe. Gaius now wants us to decide for him whether Octavius or Proximus should be promoted. I chose Octavius because Proximus is edgy and annoying. Our final task is to root out who's been freeing slaves. It's this Diego guy, but in order to get information about his contact, we have to earn his trust. I pay for 2 slaves to be freed, and then he tells us we need 5 stealth boys to sneak the slaves to meet his contact at the beach. I bought them from merchants and went to the beach where Proximus was waiting for us. I told him we're working for Gaius Magnus, and we killed all the slaves in Diego. We got a player home in the villa, and that's the end of the main questline for Drywells. I recommend you play it. There are other side quests and more ways to complete the main quest. Now that that's over, I go back to Cottonwood Cove and get quests from Quintus Fulvius and go back to Sextus. Quintus's quest is to take out some junkies near Searchlight, and while I'm there, I head to Calnavari to pick up some quests. This is a cool mod that adds an extra town, but it was taken off of Nexus for some reason. I talk to the mayor for a quest, and then to his secretary, who gives out bounties. We check on a family right outside town, and they are dead. They were killed by fire ants, so we go down into their cave and take them all out. After that, the mayor asks us to look into rumors about a possible coup to overthrow him. Calnavari has Legion influence, so women aren't allowed to have certain positions. There are 2 people in the sewers who want to change that, so we go down and kill them. I was getting sick of having to walk everywhere, so I tried to teleport to Matthew's animal husbandry farm, but you need to put in the cell ID for the command to work. I didn't feel like looking it up, so I just started walking again. I killed the junkies and then went to take out our first bounty for Calnavari, which is in a church by Novak. Conveniently, it was close to the next bounty site for Sextus at the Viper camp. I sniped the Vipers and slaves and got to level 18. I had been putting points into Unarmed to get the Slayer perk, but you can't get it until level 24, so I got Piercing Strike instead. Since I was in the neighborhood, I sold some stuff in Novak and finally got sick of not being able to fast travel and cocked my way over to Cottonwood Cove. If you think this is cheating, fine, but I'm only doing it to places I've already been. I turned in a quest to Quintus and he did the thing I hate by referring to us as Courier. My name bedtime brother! I got another quest from Sextus, and I don't know the cell code for Calnavari, so I ran all the way back there. The next bounty for them is to kill a lady and a Nightkin, but I don't want to harm one of my own brethren, so I'm not going to do that quest. I teleported to the 188 to sell a bunch of stuff, and then made my way to Black Mountain to go back to the Nightkin that sells armor. He didn't have the good metal armor I couldn't afford before in stock anymore, so I just bought stuff for repairs. I don't know how I'm supposed to get the better armor if this guy doesn't sell it. I then wandered around and found some Deathclaws. I think the one-hit kill perk is actually working against them. After that, I got jumped by some Nightkin that are hostile for some reason. I got hurt by a fiend encounter and stopped by the followers to heal up and pawn off some of my stuff. Then I went through Crimson Caravans to get to the Gunrunners, where I bought a Saiga 12 and an SVU. I noticed that I must have sold my Kaparis earlier on accident, which I'm a bit sad about, but it sucked anyway, so it wasn't much of a loss. I have other 9mm weapons I can use. I made my way to Ranger Station Bravo and gave Tilden the codes. I teleported back to the Gunrunners and ran all the way past Camp McCarran and through Fiend territory up to some Powder Gangers, where I had an epic fight. But then I accidentally dropped my assault carbine and couldn't find it and had to reload an earlier save. I killed Driver Nephi and Violet and then decided to go back to the Gunrunners to sell stuff and set out for Jacobstown. On the way there, I cleared out the mines of Lake Lurks and Cazadors. Stupid bug, you go squish now! I leveled up to 20 and took the toughness perk to compensate for my lack of armor. I updated the last ranger station and made it to Jacobstown. I agreed to help Henry and got Lily as a companion. Me looking at Night Stalker thing, you come too? When we were leaving, a group of NCR mercs showed up to harass the town. What you do this for? They wanted to be paid off, so I asked Marcus for the caps and turned them over, getting them to leave. Me kill funny dogs and get big hammer, oh baby. I picked up the chewed stealth boy and took it back to Dr. Henry. Me find broken shiny thing in Dark Wolf Cave. He wants us to do tests on Lily, so I talked to her. You still want to help Dr. Henry with his science thing? She agrees, and Keen shows up and tries to take the Mark II stealth boy. We kill him, and Henry says that we have to decide if Lily will continue the tests, even though it's dangerous. We talk to Lily again. Henry want know if wear new thing still. Me fear brain hurt forever. She says she wants to do it, and I tell Dr. Henry, and we finish Guess Who I Saw Today. I teleport back to Forlorn Hope and get stuck in a shack and have to TCL out. Reese wants us to go back and check the stations for strange reports now, so I do that and go back to her, and she tells me to go talk to Hanlon at Camp Golf. You talk too much. Make brain hurt. I didn't turn him in because I didn't want to listen to his long speech. Now we have to go to Freeside for Sextus to find out what happened to a Frumentarius named Mortis. We talk to a guy named Keith, and he says he was kicked out of his chem den, and we go to investigate. We get another Nightkin response once in there. I think it's triggered by the Terrifying Presence perk. The den was taken over by escaped slaves, and we clear them out and take their heads. We also find Mortis dead. Keith returns, and he asks us to find some buyers for his chems. We talk to this guy, and he says he was a slave, but will pay 100 caps for chems. I accepted, but was going to kill him after, but he did the dumb mod thing where he pops out of existence. Oh well. I saw Lily take her medicine and talk to her about it, then talked to another junkie and sold him chems for 200 caps. I then talked to a prostitute with no money, so I killed her. The last guys tried to jump me for chems, and I killed them. I went back to Keith, and the NCR showed up, and we killed them too. Keith gave us some turbo as a reward, and we left and could actually fast travel for some reason. We talked to Sextus, and he tells us to go to Camp McCarran to assassinate a lady, and then torture a guy for information. I try to fast travel, and it's not working again. Very cool. Once at McCarran, I can enter her tent because of my good NCR rep, and I smash her. For some reason, the soldiers around don't go hostile, and I can just walk out. I don't know if this is a bug or what. Sextus now wants us to go to the Strip to do another assassination at the NCR embassy. When I get to the gate, the Securitron says I can't come in because I'm not human. I was about to go back to McCarran to take the monorail, but Victor showed up and said I can go in. I went straight to the tops and started to attack them with Oh Baby, and then wiped out the rest of the chairmen on the floor with grenades. Lily got the kill on Benny, and she also got her berserkness triggered. I talked to her about it. What happened in Big Fight? We cleared out and ate everyone else, and leveled up to 22, getting the Unstoppable Force perk. The NCR guy and Vulpus talked to us, and then we went to the White Gloves where I killed them all and ate them too, giving them a taste of their own medicine. I looted a ton of stuff, and was running out of space, so I went to the Gunrunners and sold a bunch. I went back to the Strip, and the NCR MP questioned my place on the Strip, so I ended him. I then continued on to wipe out the embassy, but unfortunately Crocker teleported away. There was a ranger with a gun he wasn't supposed to have, and he kept killing me, but I eventually beat him with the Saga 12. We assassinate the guy, and then all the Securitrons are hostile, so we go on a rampage, killing them. I tried to take out the Omertas next, but my model kept glitching in there, so I left. So instead, I went to see Mr. House. Me no like big scary computer man. Me smash robots. I pretty easily cleaned out his Securitrons and squashed him while his container was opening. I now regret not going into dialogue with him. I forgot about the funny responses. After that, I teleport back to Cottonwood Cove and get my next task from Sextus. When leaving his shack, it actually lets me fast travel again. The next slaves are at Wolfhorn Ranch, which conflicts with Legion Factions Reloaded because with that mod they use it as a base, so when we get there they're already fighting each other. After killing the guys in the shack, Nox shows up and is mad that we worked with the chem dealer, so he attacks but is easily killed. Next we shoot Viscera from afar with armor-piercing 308 rounds. He has a big sword called the Deathclaw Slayer. I go back to the Gunrunners and sell stuff again and buy an extended magazine for the Saiga, and then teleport back to Cottonwood Cove. The NCR attacks and we beat them easily. The last of the slaves are up north near the Boomers, so I go to Raul's shack and get confronted by an NCR hit squad. We killed them and proceeded to the cave with the last slaves. While eliminating them, I leveled up to 24 and took the Slayer perk. I swung my sword so the leader couldn't talk to me and swiftly cut him down with 3 hits. After that, I ran to the Lucky 38 to store a bunch of stuff. Back at the cove, I turned in the last of the slave heads and finished the Retribution quest line. Now I finally decided it was time to meet Caesar. Let me go with you on big journey. I talked to Funny Grandpa and got told to go into the bunker and destroy stuff. It was easier thanks to being resistant to radiation. Next he wants us to meet the Boomers, so I went and killed them because Pearl was annoying me. After that, we had to wipe out the Brotherhood of Steel. Once leaving the fort, it randomly decided to let me fast travel to Hidden Valley. I started with slashing, but then I remembered I had pulse slugs, and with my companions, defeating them all was a breeze. I blew up the bunker and returned to Caesar to inform him of our success, and then he confides in us that he is sick. We have to go to Vault 11 to get an auto-dock part, so I teleport to the East Pump Station and get jumped by a pack of chem addicts. Once we get to the vault, it's nice that we aren't getting irradiated. I slice through the ghouls and pick up the part. On the way back up the fort, I punch a slave just to see if I can kill them in one hit, and I can. I reloaded and saved Caesar and level up to 26. I took the second rank of toughness, and now he wants us to take out Kimball. I go to the Eldorado gas station and get jumped by NCR assassins. I killed 2 of them and then ran into the building, and when I came out, the rest were gone. I can't kill Kimball because I can't wear the NCR uniform, so I just shoot a ranger and fail the quest. Caesar lets it slide, and the only thing he wants us to do now is assault Hoover Dam. I wanted to finish Lily's quest, but the wiki says you have to wait or sleep, which the mod isn't letting me do. So oh well, I guess I won't finish it. The last quest I want to do before the end of the game is killing all the Deathclaws in the promontory for the Legion. I swam across the river and found a big group of Legionnaires fighting Deathclaws. They eventually all got wiped out, except for the Centurion who was hiding under the raft. One of them dropped a chainsaw and I was struggling to decide whether it was allowed, but the game decided for me because it wouldn't work. I tried killing the Deathclaws with my sword, but that didn't work at all. So I shot them from afar with a UMP and SVU, and when I ran out of bullets, I switched to the M2 and explosive rounds, which utterly destroyed them. When there were only young Deathclaws left, I blew up a few with the grenade launcher, and then finished the last one off with the Deathclaw Slayer. I turned in the quest to Quintus, and now all there is to do is prepare for the final battle. I bought a bunch of ammo and a new SVU and MP5 because mine were almost broken. I got a scope for the SVU and then went to the Old Lady Gibson. It's 20,000 caps for a new Browning M2, and it's only 16,000 to get mine repaired. Me need fix thing. I started the battle for the dam by spraying the NCR soldiers with my MP5. I started with over 1,000 rounds of 9mm, so I went with the tactic of accuracy through volume of fire. It was cool just running in with allies and gunning down troopers. I had to counter-snipe a guy with the SVU, and when I got to the visitor center, I destroyed the heavy troopers with the Deathclaw Slayer. I then remembered I had stealth boys, so I used one. I rampaged through the troopers with the MP5 and the sword, and then reached Oliver's compound. I did my normal strategy of climbing over the office dividers, but clipped into the void a little bit because of my large size. It was hard to get through, but I was hidden because of the stealth boy, and my companions and even a random Khan ran around defusing traps with their bodies and fighting the rangers for me. The Khan kindly blew himself up and disarmed some mines on the stairs, so I climbed up to Oliver and rushed him and his heavies with the Deathclaw Slayer, destroying them. This was the easiest fight with Oliver I've ever had. I ate him as one last snack before meeting with Lanius, and finally beat Fallout New Vegas as a Nightkin. Would I recommend this challenge? Unfortunately, I would not, because it was just too buggy. The mod is definitely a cool idea, but it needs a lot more polish. Thank you guys for watching, and a special thanks to Admiral Jackus and Astolfo Courier from the comments for helping me flesh out ideas for this challenge. If you liked this video, then check out my playlist of other New Vegas challenges. It's on the screen now.